Once again, we're here, and I want to quickly thank Pastor Fola and Pastor Timothy for the great opportunity. And, I think it's about 5 years ago that he talked about wanting people to be healthy. And I said, me too. And then, we went to town. So when he talked about kingdom, and I started pondering, like my normal thing when I'm all alone, I think. And my job is to kind of connect medicine, with ministry. I've been doing this for a long time. And I see that there's a lot of intersection. Actually, medicine came out of ministry. If you did it back and back and back, some of the first hospitals were born in ministries. And even the best of them are still there up till today. So we just got careless and lost them. But we're coming back. So today we're going to look beyond medicine. That's what I have put this little topic. And it is kingdom health. Can you give me the first slide, please? Kingdom health. Let's look at this together. This is not something new. This is something we're all used to. But we just need to practicalize this and use this in an actual tool. I like to do goals because as simple as they are, outcomes are very difficult, particularly when you don't have accountability. And by the way, I just want to thank the church for praying with me and my family during the sessions. Prophet, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So, the goal here is to be healthy perpetually. Is that possible? It is possible. Moses was 120 years old. He didn't have hypertension. Cholesterol was not high. His eyes were not dim. He wasn't even wearing glasses. And he was walking, trailing the mountains, and carrying difficult people. He didn't have anxiety situations, right? He had a few anger things which we all go through, but he didn't kill anybody. He followed instructions. So, in other words, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, we are supposed to meet that 120 years easily. We can go and just sleep and go to meet our Creator without having to wobble and be hopping on one leg. And that's what this is all about. Next slide, please. Let's look at this together. Next slide. Since look at Romans 14. Look at that clearly. The big issues that I'm going to pick about is the word righteousness, peace, and joy. Now, I'm told, my son is in the aviation stuff. When they say an airplane is righteous, what they mean is that, in fact, if you buy a used aircraft, you still spend another money, almost as much as how much you buy it, to make it righteous. That's the term they use. It's not here. Yes. So in other words, you buy an aircraft for about 5 million, you spend between 2.5 to another 3 million to make it righteous. So it just means that you are in good standing. And so when we say our bodies are righteous, you know what that means. If a plane can be righteous, you and I are supposed to be righteous. If you're joyful, it means you're not angry, you're not breaking, you're not kicking against the wall or killing people around you. And, if we have peace, that's what the whole world is looking for. When I thought about this deeply, that's actually what the whole goal of medicine is, isn't it? We want to be righteous, we want to be joyful, and we want peace. That's all medicine is. If you see anyone who has all of that, his blood pressure will not be high. He won't have all those issues, and he won't have cancer. He won't have all the things that we are scared of. So that's the goal. Next slide, please. Now, look at what's the goal of the Kingdom Health. We have been doing some of that already. Obviously, there are some situations where we see when we need everybody. We need to pray. If you didn't know how to pray, if you're part of Christ Temple, I think you will learn how to pray. Because there are some situations in medicine that even the doctor has no answer but to pray. Doctors get sick too. I have a whole lot of them that we started together that are gone. I have a whole lot of doctor colleagues that we graduated 45 years ago that are gone. And it has nothing to do with nothing. I remember there was a professor whose wife was having a baby, and they put all the professor of anesthesiology and everyone together to operate the wife. We still lost not just lost the baby, we lost the wife. I know that very well. I'm just not putting the name to the person. So the goal is to pray for difficult situations. Fasting has become the new answer to a lot of stuff. Where people fast, colon cancer, pancreatic cancer, diabetes completely get reversed. We're going to talk about reversal in one of the days. So the issue is that when we cannot fast, there's a difference between calling it and doing it. And I'm sure pastors and ministers understand that very well. When people follow that routine, you'll be surprised that you have good weight management, your heart will be very excellent, and the system get regulated. So one secret open answer in this situation is fasting. It's no longer a secret, but it's something that needs to be utilized. Movement. I think one of these, we're going to talk about movement. Movement is actually the secret medicine that you don't have to pay for. It is free, but we'll talk about that also as well. So you can see that, and of course the big issue is eat well, where you eat, but you eat well. I'm made to realize that, how many of us know that that the peel of banana is edible? Right? Yes. Do you know that the peel of the orange is edible? And so many, when we make the bean cake, we first spend the next 4 hours taking off the peel, right? Before we do it. When the best part of the bean is actually the brown part that we're peeling off. So there are things that we need to change in our perspective of eating. So, but one of the biggest things is that sometimes we're the cause of the stress, and please stop it. If that's all you can remember, please stop it. Don't give stress. Don't take stress. Right? And one of the secrets to people that have lived very long is that they have a family unit. This is a family unit. Most people lose their visions because someone said something they didn't like. In other words, find someone who will tell you something you like, even if it's corrective. Some people run away and hide because they don't like how that is. So the goal is actually to have a family unit, encouragement in which we can perpetually utilize that and have us live our life to the fullest. Next slide, please. Next slide. Can you see so the biggest thing in Kingdom Health is to have a right mindset and a right culture, which means I belong, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do perpetually. This is the right mindset that I have, irrespective of in other words, research it. There is a man of God that, that I had contact with, and he had incredible high blood pressure. His blood pressure was 200/170 consistently for almost 5 years. And then we talked like we're talking. And I told him, can you go on plant-based? He said, what's that? And I broke it down. And he was talking to me weekly. He was talking to me weekly. By the last 6 months, his numbers has been consistently 110 over 70. In fact, Penn here are now asking questions that they've never seen anyone that maintained that change. They have regulated now, down-regulated his blood pressure to about 75% cut off for the last 6 months, and they're normal. It started from this place. So these are things that we'll have in Kingdom Health. Forget about what it is. In Kingdom Health, it's important that we do what is appropriate. We do what is right. Man marrying a woman, not man marrying a man. Woman marrying a man, not the other way, and so on and so forth. And then I work in public health. I have some children who are so confused and have social emotional issues because they're calling the second mom another dad, and they're correcting them every day that is not dad, and those children don't know what to do as we speak. That's Kingdom Health. That's how we live longer. That's how we live healthy. Next slide, please. So what it's about that, it needs to be teachable, right? We're looking for doers, not just people that will think about it. And it has to be perpetual, it has to be consistent. You have to make up your mind that this is what we want to do. We want to, in other words, when we have objects of correction, we want to make sure that this is done and this is the way to do it. When you do that consistently, honestly, is it the weight you want to lose? It changes so quickly. Is it the blood pressure that you want to go down? It changes completely. Most people that I know, cholesterol problems changes within 2 weeks. But the issue is that for you to maintain that, you must do this consistently, perpetually. Not that I did it for 2 weeks and forgot and then went back to what you're doing. I have a whole lot of stories of that. People who did very well, and a month later, they reversed completely. That's actually very frustrating. Yes. Next slide, please. So, in other words, Kingdom Health is not saying that we don't go to the doctors. We still go to the doctors. We look at all these numbers. We compare with what we need to do regularly and what needs to be done. You will find that something like cancer hides. Cancer steals. Cancer destroys. Cancer kills. The last time I checked, something that does act like that is what? Satan. That's exactly. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow when I can give more act. But for the next 2-3 minutes, I want us to get up and stretch. Yes, my brother, please come over. He's volunteered to help me with that. Elder Finney. If you come. Hey. All right. You want to give us some meditations, right? 3 John 2.
God bless you all. You know 3 John, verse 2. Beloved, above all, I wish that you'd prosper and be in health, even as your prospers. Amen. 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 Amen.
So we're all going to have prosperity of, we want our health to prosper, and so we're going to stretch, right? Can we stretch? All right. Can we stretch? Let's go. Can we go to the right? Continue to do that and do that, and then you can stop. Up. again. Up, 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 up. Go to the back. Straight to the back. Straight to the back. Back. Up. Back again. That's it. Up. Try and touch your toes if you can. Up and down. And can you do that a little faster? Yeah. A little faster. Right? Thank you. Thank you.